Maria, how are you?
Oh, I'm doing okay.
Just okay?
Yeah.
How has this last week been?
It's been a little difficult. I have a few friends who are pressuring me to, drink and use marijuana, mostly marijuana, but, and it's just really hard for me to tell them no, or I don't want to disappoint them, and I don't want them to make fun of me, and I'm just trying to keep my friends along with, follow probation and do what the probation officers told me to do. And, I've used, like twice this week.
Okay.
Mostly marijuana. I drank over the weekend. My mom's really upset. My stepdad pretty much hates me. And my probation officer is threatening to put me in jail. So I guess we're just going to have to see.
Sounds like you got a lot going on.
Yeah, I do.
Okay. Well, let's start with your friends. They're kind of putting you in a difficult situation, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. So what's going on there? Tell me a little bit about that.
Well, I like my friends. They're main, way out for me. They get me out of the house where my mom and stepdad fight, and they, seem like they care and are supportive, and, they know that I'm going to treatment and in trouble. So I think they try and not use, but I think they may be, addicted just like I am. And it's just, they're not in trouble, so they always use that and say, you know what, we're not in trouble, so we can do what we want. But it's really hard for me to, hang out with them and not use. And then they, ask me if I want some, and, I can't say no. So I just continue on and use it because I know that I like it, for one, and I know if it's around, I'm going to use it. And it's also because I don't want to get made fun of, and I don't know, I guess, how to tell them no. Like, I know all I just have to do is just tell them no, but it's hard for me because I don't want them to think like I don't care, or I don't want to be their friend, or that I'm trying to be some goody tissue, or, something. It shouldn't even really matter, but I really care about my friends, and I really like them, but, seems like they're supportive on sometimes, and then sometimes they're not. But I do have one friend who's also getting help too.
Mm-hmm.
So she's been a little bit of help and supportive, and but the thing is I see she's already able to tell my other friends no. Like, she'll be hanging out with us and using, and she'll be like, no, I don't want any, and then of course I get to see her get made fun of, and so a lot of times I'll stick up for her and say those things, but it's still hard for me to still tell them no, that I don't want to. One, because I like it, and two, because I don't want to tell them no.
So they're putting you in a difficult situation.
Yeah.
Okay. On the one hand, you have this great loyalty to your friends because you enjoy hanging out with them and you like to do things with them. And then on the other hand, you are having problems with the marijuana and the drinking, and now you have legal problems due to the marijuana and the drinking, and you are having a difficult time telling them no because they'll either make fun of you or because you just really like it.
Mm-hmm.
Is that about right?
Yeah.
Okay. What do you see? I know you mentioned that your other friend gets made fun of. What do you see? What happens? Tell me about that.
They laugh at her and tell her, you don't get to be like us, you're boring, you're, you know, I don't know, like, they just say rude things that I don't think they need to say. You know, she's trying to do what she needs to do to stay out of jail. And I think that I'm just in that same position, and I don't think that they realize that, you know, maybe smoking marijuana and drinking isn't what, you know, it's all cracked out to be what it's supposed to be, you know.
Yeah.
So it's just hard because I just see that, and I don't like attention on me, so I'm just the type of person who just goes with the flow and does what, you know, people want me to do. It's not like I would like jump off a cliff if they told me to do that, but it's something that I enjoy. You know, I like smoking marijuana. It has nothing, you know, only harms me. It doesn't harm anyone else, but it's just, they just are rude. They're just mean. I don't like people to be mean.
So I heard you say that you like smoking marijuana and it harms you and not anyone else. Can you explain that to me a little bit more?
I just mean, you know, like if I smoke it, it hurts my body, my, you know, my brain cells, my, you know, stuff like that. But, you know, the only thing that harms my mom is that she's upset at my use. Like, I don't physically am hurting her, or, you know, it's more emotionally, like she's just disappointed. And I guess it does harm the law. Now I'm on probation, and now I have to pay for that, and so I can see how that could harm others. And I guess with drinking, but I don't drive when I drink. It's usually my friends, but I guess that could harm somebody else if I'm with them. So I guess I didn't really mean that.
Okay. Alright, so you're finding that you're having a hard time with the friends. How are things going with mom and stepdad? You mentioned that your stepdad pretty much hates you.
Yeah.
And mom is still disappointed. What's going on there?
Well, they found out that I was still, you know, smoking marijuana, and I drank over the weekend, and they're threatening to kick me out and just put me in jail. They're telling my probation officer just to, you know, get away, you know, put her in jail. She deserves it. But I think I've been doing really well. Like, most of the time I was smoking every day and, you know, pretty much getting wasted on the weekends. But, you know, I may have only drank, you know, 3 beers or whatever. I didn't even get real drunk or anything. And with the marijuana, I used to buy it all the time, and now I don't buy it. You know, I know I can't have it around me. So, you know, it was a pass, you know, puff, give thing, and when it got to me, I just used. I didn't, you know. So I guess I feel like I have made some progress, but my family doesn't feel that way. They're upset that I haven't completely stopped, and so they're mad. And so, of course, my mom and my stepdad are fighting over it, because my mom's trying to stick up for me and say, you know, that I've done something. I'm at least trying to go in treatment, and, you know, I'm seeing you, and
And your stepdad is all or nothing? Okay.
Yeah.
So you mentioned that you drank 3 times last week? How about smoking? How many times did you smoke marijuana last week?
3.
3? Okay. Were they all the same times?
No, I drank over the weekend, and then I smoked throughout the week.
Okay. But before, you were getting wasted for the entire weekend, and you were smoking every day and staying out late every night, and right? So you really cut back.
Right.
That's excellent.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Did you find that you had any cravings this last week? Or was it more of it was there and you didn't want to let your friends down, so you went ahead and drank and or smoked?
Well, I used the, homework exercise that you gave last time with the cravings and stuff, and trying to use those coping skills that you talked about, which they helped.
Okay.
I just think the hardest thing was just, trying to tell my friends no was the worst thing.
Mhm.
I didn't want to let them down. I didn't want to, hurt their feelings, and it's just, I'm a quiet person. I really just stick to myself and just want to do my own thing, and if I just join in with them, then, I'm not the center of attention, and, and when I think about it, I don't really think that they're going to be mad or be mean. It's just more of making fun of me, and I don't want that. I don't want to be made fun of.
I understand that. Nobody really likes to be made fun of.
Yeah.
Okay. So did you have cravings?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, it was more because I, was around it. It's not
Okay.
like when I wasn't around it, I didn't have cravings for it, because I used the coping skills, like distracting myself, and I, took my dog for a walk, and
Good.
like used a lot of skills that we discussed last time, which was really beneficial for me. It was more of, when I got there and I saw it and
Okay.
I smelt it,
Mhm.
then it was, more of me not being able to tell him no.
Okay. With your friend, who is also trying to get clean, I know you mentioned that when she says no, she's being made fun of.
Mhm.
But how is she saying no?
Um,
When they ask her and they're like, hey, you want some?
she's actually a pretty direct person.
Okay.
She usually, will say, no, I don't want it, I don't need it, I'm in trouble, I don't need it anymore. No, she's really good at saying no. And with me, it's more like, no, I probably shouldn't, and then they usually talk me into it, and so I give in,
Mhm.
Plus, there's two things going on, they're pressuring me to do it, and then plus I want to do it.
Okay.
So it's still, like, I know I need to quit because I'm either going to go to jail or stop. So now it's more of me just having to tell them no.
Mhm. When is your next UA?
Oh, I had one this morning, so I'm still dirty, but at least, I don't have any alcohol or anything like that. It was more just THC still.
And what are the consequences of your being dirty this morning?
Well, because I admitted using like 3 days ago,
Mhm.
and so they're able to check my levels on the THC. So as long as it's not above what it was, then they know that I haven't currently used.
Okay.
But I still have to, go in front of the judge on Monday and see, what's going to happen for the use that I already did.
Yes.
So, we'll know then. My probation officer's wanting me to go to jail, so we'll see, I guess.
Will you UA again before you go in front of the judge?
Probably. It goes by phases, and so, like, I call every morning, and then it just tells me what phase, and I'm phase 1, because I just, I've only been in the program for, like, only 2 weeks, I think.
Okay.
And so, it just depends on when my number's called.
Okay, I see. When do you see the judge?
Monday.
Okay. So it's possible that you'll be tested before you go in and see the judge on Monday. And if you test a lower THC level than you did your last test, then they'll see that progress has been made.
Yeah, I'm hoping.
Okay. I want to talk a little bit more about the homework that I had given to you. Tell me how the coping skills worked for you. I know you touched on it, but I'd like to go in a little bit more detail with that.
Okay. Like, when I got upset with my mom and my stepdad fighting, instead of, going and getting marijuana or whatever, I just went outside with my dog and played.
How did that feel?
Better, yeah. I was excited that I could do that instead of use like I always do.
Good.
So yeah, it was nice. And then, like, I took a bubble bath and I mostly used a lot of like distraction skills. I just distracted myself. And it seemed like, because the cravings are getting lower and lower in intensity,
Okay.
that it seems like something small like that can take away that feeling for a while.
Great.
So,
Great. But then when you get around your friends, you find that you're just not able to say no.
right.
Okay. So this seems to be a big problem for you right now. Not being able to say no assertively enough that they're going to make fun of you, or that you're just going to go ahead and give in and use anyway, right?
Mm-hmm.
Why don't we work on that a little bit today? How
Okay.
does that sound?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. So I guess my first question, which you've already kind of touched on for me, is that you're not buying anymore,
Right.
but it is available to you
Mm-hmm.
as long as you go to your friends' houses and they're passing around the pipe or whatever they're passing around. So then you have access to it, right?
Mm-hmm.
How do you feel that you could reduce that availability?
Not going over to my friend's house and going somewhere public with them, like to the mall, or they couldn't come to my house because my mom doesn't like them.
Yeah.
But yeah, somewhere public, maybe, well, I'd say the movies, but a lot of times they smoke marijuana there, so that or they sneak in alcohol. So yeah, it would mostly have to be somewhere where we're walking around in public.
Mm-hmm. Like going to the mall, the park on like a busy day where other kids are there,
Mm-hmm.
so there wouldn't be a chance of trying to sneak some in.
Right.
Okay. Have you cut off communication with your dealers?
I did that 2 weeks ago when I got into the program. Plus they heard around town, you know, that's easy to know. So when somebody's in treatment, they don't want to get caught with their probation officer or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
So that was actually easy, so.
Okay, so you really didn't have much in the way of resistance with them.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so that was fairly easy, that's good. Okay. So going to different places, alright, that would be an excellent idea. You got rid of your suppliers. I guess my biggest concern at this point is how you're going to say no. So I'd like to go over some refusal skills with you. Okay, actually I have a sheet here on tips for responding to offers. Okay, so we'll go through this a little bit and then we'll continue with our discussion. And then when we finish up, I'll give you some homework. Okay?
Yeah.
So on this sheet here, it's got the refusal skills. And basically, the very first thing that it says is to say no. Now when you say no, it's not like, no, not this time. You want to be firm and direct and no, I don't want that.
Mm-hmm.
Just flat out, no.
Mm-hmm.
Don't leave the door open for them to come back with, oh, come on, Maria, just one little puff will be okay. Just tell them flat out with that very first no that there's no second chance of offering it. Just, no, I'm done.
Okay.
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Do you think you can do that? Maybe?
Yeah.
Okay. When you say no, you want to make it very clear. You don't want any more offers. You're not going to give in. And you want to be assertive. Not aggressive, but assertive. Just no. Alright? Don't be afraid to set limits with them when you tell them no. Such as if you give them that firm no and they still come back with, come on, just one time, go ahead and set a limit with them and tell them, you know what, this has gotten me in trouble with the law. This has gotten me in trouble with my mom. I'm on probation. I have this problem. I have this problem. I have this problem, all associated with using that and drinking. And I don't want that anymore, so please stop offering that to me. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Okay. So I want to, excuse me, I want to talk a little bit about the difference between being passive, where it's like, no, I don't think I want to do it this time. No, maybe, no. Then there's aggressive. No, I said no! And then there's assertive. No. Do you see the difference?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, how would you feel about doing a little role play with me?
Yeah.
Okay. So, I'm going to be your friends.
Okay.
And you're Maria.
Okay.
And I'm going to offer you some, and I want you to be assertive and say no. Okay?
Okay.
All right. Hey, Maria, how's it going?
It's going.
Hey, I've got a dupe. You want some?
No.
Yeah, come on. Just once.
No, I can't.
Come on.
No, I don't want it anymore.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
It'll be fun.
No, I'm sure.
Gosh, you're no fun anymore since you got in trouble.
I know.
Okay. So you sounded like you were kind of starting to waver a little bit towards the end.
Mm-hmm.
Just make sure that you have that really assertive no. I said no. You want to try it again?
Sure.
Okay. Hey, Maria. How's it going?
It's going.
Got the pipe. You want some?
No.
Come on.
No, I don't want it.
Why?
It's just not my thing anymore. Really, I don't want any. Please don't ask me to use anymore.
All right. That was fantastic. Great job.
Thanks.
Okay, so keeping that in mind, I want to talk a little bit about not only with the friends that you've been using with, I want you to think about the one friend out of your group that you have always found that you're not able to say no to.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have that person in your mind?
Mm-hmm.
How are you going to tell that person no this time?
Just tell them no, I don't want it.
Good. Okay. Did you smoke with anyone else, or was it just that group of friends?
Mostly them or by myself.
Okay. And since you've cut off communication with your suppliers, that's not an option anymore where you're smoking by yourself, so it's just that group of people that you're going to have to say no. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, I'm going to give you this sheet.
Okay.
And this is the one that's got those, saying no, the tips for saying no. And although it does have down here different people that you can fill in the blanks of who you would say no to, we've kind of already gone over that. But just so that you have those skills in front of you, I'm going to go ahead and give this to you.
Okay.
Okay? How did that feel, doing that role play?
It was really good, actually. I can tell how I, have a hard time saying no, and you were able to identify that. But then as soon as you, told me to be more assertive, it seemed like it helped.
Okay. A couple of other things that I just want to point out is when you say no, when they're offering it to you, immediate response, no. Don't hesitate, don't think about it, just, hey Maria, you want some? No. Don't even waver for a moment. Because if you waver, you might start thinking about it, and that no might turn into a, well, maybe just one.
Okay.
So very firm, right off the bat, no. Make sure you're looking them straight in the eye, because that's your way of telling them, I am serious. No. Okay? And then also, like we talked about, that very firm no, so that they get the hint of, okay, I'm not going to offer this to her anymore. Got it.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
Beyond that, do you have questions about what we talked about?
Mm-mm.
No?
I actually feel a little better now, actually. Because that was my main concern. I didn't know how I was going to do that. And I see how if I am assertive and not passive or aggressive, how it would help.
Mm-hmm.
Because I want to keep my friends, and
Mm-hmm.
I guess if they can't take the no and they continue to still use or offer it to me, then I guess that I have to stay away. I have to, or I'm going to go to jail. So,
Yeah.
you know, I'll try this first, and, you know, I haven't told them no before, so it's not like, you know, I've tried. So if I try and they still, then, you know, it will change from there.
How do you feel about that very first time that you'll need to tell them no?
I actually feel better now. If you would have asked me that earlier, I probably would have told you I probably couldn't do it.
Okay. So if you were to walk out of my office and one of them was standing there and was like, come on, how would you respond?
I had to say no, I don't want it.
Okay. Are you feeling hesitant or nervous about talking to them at all? Or are you feeling pretty confident about it at this point?
Yeah, I feel pretty confident.
Good. Okay. When has your PO gotten you a date for the treatment center yet?
Yeah, I've sort of already started. I have like groups and stuff throughout the week,
Mm-hmm.
so that helps. It's not like an inpatient or anything, it's
Okay.
just outpatient, so.
Okay. I just wanted to point out that you've been doing very well and you're learning a lot of really good skills, and there is going to come a point where our time together is going to end. And it looks like we have probably about 6 weeks left unless something major were to happen.
Okay.
Okay? I just want to go over just one last time your understanding of the assertiveness before I go into what I'd like you to do for homework this week.
Okay.
So, I'd like to hear your perspective.
Just to use, you know, these refusal skills of being immediate, saying no,
Mhm.
be firm, look them in the eye.
Mm-hmm.
If I have to, I'd probably walk away. I know
Good.
you didn't mention that, but that was something that I thought of. If they continue to pressure me, that's what I'd probably do.
Absolutely.
And just to be assertive and not mean or
Mhm.
passive, because I could see how I was pretty passive, so it was actually really easy to offer it to me, and they probably didn't even know that it was something that bothered me.
Mm-hmm.
But now that I'm able to tell them no, I honestly feel that they will, you know, be okay with it. Like, they might say stuff and make fun of me, but it won't be half as bad as what I think it's going to be.
Do you feel comfortable enough to do it on your own the first time or the first couple of times, or do you think maybe you might ask your sober friend to go with you so you have a little bit of backing?
She's usually there anyway,
Okay.
so yeah, I think it should be pretty easy.
Great. Okay, so you have a pretty firm grasp of this.
Yes, I do.
Fantastic. As for homework, well, yeah, okay. So this is on how to manage availability
Okay.
of marijuana. We've talked about saying no. We've talked about how you have cut off communication with your suppliers, both directly and indirectly. It just kind of happened. Beyond telling your friends no, how else do you think that you could reduce the marijuana being available to you?
Go into a public place, probably,
Okay.
like we said.
So this sheet, basically what it is, and the reason I want to send it home with you is because throughout the week you might think of something else that you may not have thought of. So what I'd like you to do is, in this first column it says source. Like, Joe is the person that I usually get it from. And then in the next column over, steps I'll take to reduce availability. How you'll get away from having the marijuana offered to you by Joe.
Right.
Okay? So beyond just saying no, I want you to really kind of dig a little bit deeper in not going there anymore, or only going around that person with another friend, or do you see what I'm saying?
Right, yeah.
But I just want you to just kind of think about the different places and people that you have historically gotten your marijuana and your alcohol from, and then how you're going to get away from that.
Okay.
Okay? So here's this.
Thank you.
before we wrap up, I want you to think for a minute about any high-risk situations that might come up this next week.
Me going to jail.
Okay, that could be a high-risk situation for sure.
Probably, if I feel if my probation officer pretty much tells me that I'm going to be going to jail on Monday, I could see that I could use, because it's like, why not, why stay sober if I'm going to go to jail anyway? So I think that would be a high-risk situation for me next week.
Okay.
And maybe, telling my friends no might be, but I feel like I can. It's more of the repercussion, like if they're gonna make fun of me, or if I'm gonna lose a friend by it, or a few friends, or that might be a high risk situation for me.
So, with that in mind, which would you prefer? Your friends making fun of you, or spending time in jail? Let's put this on a scale, okay? 1 is they make fun of you. 10, you're going to jail. Where would you rather be?
My friends making fun of me.
Yeah, probably. I think you'd have an easier time walking away from than from behind bars.
Right. Yes, that's true. So I know that I need to not use. It's just, it will take some time. And I'm pretty sure my probation officer understands that, because he sounded happy, not really happy, but encouraging that I wasn't using all the time, and I didn't have it on me.
Good.
It was nothing like that. So I'm hoping that I won't go to jail, and that I'll just have some type of other sanction.
Do you feel like your mom and your stepdad could potentially be a high-risk situation for you?
Probably.
Okay.
But I feel like I've learned a lot of coping skills at home, because I haven't used at home, and normally I would have.
Fantastic.
Yeah. So I'm pretty good there. Like, I know that things will probably come up, but I've started reading another book, which has been pretty good and helpful for me. So that helps there.
So you're using your coping skills when you get into an argument with your mom or your stepdad, so you don't foresee home being a high-risk situation.
Right.
Okay. So just so they can recap really quick, your friends could be a high-risk situation for you, them teasing you, but we're going to weigh those options of, do I want them to tease me, or do I want to go to jail?
Right.
Okay, and then the possibility of going to jail could be a high-risk situation also.
Yeah.
Okay, and you kind of worked on that one also.
Yeah, and that one, I really can't control. I already made the mistake, so it's pretty much I have to.
How will you keep yourself from using right before you go, if you were to go?
Probably hang out with my family or stay home.
Okay, good.
Yeah. Hang out with my dog.
Fantastic. Maria, it sounds like you've got a pretty good grasp on this right now.
I do, yeah. I think I'll be able to I'm pretty sure I'll be able to tell him no, like that's not my concern anymore.
Good.
So that's good.
Do you have any questions for me?
I don't.
Okay, so I will see you next week, same time?
Yeah.
All right, sounds good.
Okay, thanks.
Good luck this week.
Thanks.